I think this because Paige is like, I know fashion, you don't, but she like wants them to put her in this. She's like, it's more toned down, but it's just like the pattern is so much busier. It's just like only 2 colors now.
I literally already talked about that.
I'm trying to read my notes and it's hard to do both.
Craig is also wearing like a shiny vest at his show. There's so many man vests in this episode.
Cassidy Pope had the worst emo hair.
It was so bad. It was so bad and streaky.
I can confirm you definitely had that hair.
With like the weird like asymmetrical bangs look with the streaky underneath. It was a lot.
Isn't she a country singer now?
I don't know. I know she was on The Voice and she won. And I was like, but she's already like in a band. I don't get it. I guess she can go on this show. Sure.
That's just greedy. Paige wore a juicy tracksuit to set because diva.
Yes. And Craig wears he wears jeans on the beach, and which is fine, but then he decides to go in the water and doesn't roll them up until like after they're wet. It's just very impractical.
Ellie's dress was way too formal for the beach.
It was. It looked like she should have worn it to like work.
All the bikers look like Santa Claus.
They were polite.
They reminded me of, do you remember when I used to work at Parkside Tavern for like one summer?
Oh God, yes, I referenced that last night.
Oh my God. Parkside Tavern, but that reminded me of Parkside Tavern.
Also, you were like 19 at a bar.
I should not have been working there. I told them I was 22. They knew I was lying. And they were like, sure, whatever. I never signed any paperwork for that job.
At one point, Craig is wearing like a t-shirt with a bunch of guitars on it. Just a little too on the nose.
Jay wears a series of bad shirts.
Yeah, a lot of like unnecessary patterns on what would be perfectly nice shirts without them. Like, he's wearing like a nice, like, what is that? Like a baseball tee with the buttons at the neck. I know it's called something, but it has just like a terrible cross on it. Henley, yes. And then he's wearing another like nice shirt, and then it has weird patterns on the sleeves, and it's just too much.
Craig is wearing a white stud belt, which is a choice, and also is normally a thing I only saw like girls wearing after they like hit up Zoomies. Which, by the way, I saw Zoomies the other day. I was really excited about it.
Paige and Haley are wearing like matching shiny pink spa day outfits.
Oh, yeah.
And then also when they get to the premiere, Paige's dress is very sparkly and also feathery. It's a lot.
It's too much of a dress. I don't know. And also, well, we'll talk about it when we get to that scene. I don't know. It's just a really bad dress, though. And but the other girl, Haley, her dress is bad too, and it comes up in a weird triangle at the back to the point where I was like, is it just tucked into her underwear?
I know, it was like very close to where I assume her butt would begin, and I thought that she was gonna flash some people. Oh, and at the end, Manny's maxi dress is a lot. There's a lot happening with it. That's all I have, though.
All the costumes in the movie are batshit.
It's the 80s, I guess? I don't know.
I made someone watch Heathers the other day, and they were very upset by the fashion the entire fucking time. And that was just my response to everything. I was like, 80s though?
It's just the 80s. That's the only excuse you can give. Are we good?
I'm good.
Okay. Where are we?
I don't know. I'm 5 pages deep.
The Kevin Smith.
Oh, yeah. The terrible acting teacher who Manny is making out with for some inexplicable reason.
He's literal trash. And then they're sitting on the stage together, and she's like, I'm going to go to this, like, Kevin Smith talk thing, because, like, you know, I kind of know him because I was, like, the star of his movie. And this acting guy's like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But he's like, his plan with her is, he's like, let's go to dinner at this restaurant and then go back to my place for dessert. Which, you guys, there are very few things I hate more than people referring to sex as dessert. I think it's fucking disgusting.
It's so gross. And she's like, no, I'm going to go to this thing. And then she and Emma and Kelly, like, go to this talk. And then And then fucking the Mick, the acting teacher guy, shows up, and Emma just looks at him and rolls her eyes, and I'm just like, same, Emma.
She makes a really good face.
But Manny's like, oh my God, yay, you came. And we're all like, why did you come? Go away forever. And then we are back in LA, and Paige is like skimming this lady's pool, which I'm pretty sure personal assistants do not do.
No, she'd have a pool guy, but she's not even doing it right. She's like skimming it, but then like throwing it back into the pool. She's just like...
just making a show of it.
It's really weird.
Making waves.
And then not Trixie. Haley is like, oh my God, Jason Mewes is doing this movie and I really want an audition, but I can't get one. And Paige is like, I know him. I can get you an audition if you help me with my stylist career, which also, how could she help you with that? But sure.
I have a question. So she's like, oh, I know Jason Mewes. I can get you the audition. And she gets her the audition. But then when she has her audition and Jay is like watching it back, he's like, oh, I know that girl. So did he not actually talk to her? How did she get this girl the audition? I don't understand what's happening.
Maybe she talked to Kevin Smith instead of Jason Mewes? I don't know. I have no idea. That's a good question, though. Oh, and this is also when we learned that it's called Mewesical High, as in Mewes, Jason Mewes, which Kelsey did not get until like an hour and a half, and like almost at the end of the movie.
It took me almost the entirety of the movie to understand Mewesical High. I was like, oh, I get it. It was very stupid. I'm so sorry.
But then we are at the Kevin Smith talk, they like Manny and the professor dude are talking, and Kevin's like, oh, are you guys having a conversation? We're having a show here. Like, please be quiet. And then he's like, wait, I know you. And that's Manny Santos. And they like pull her on stage, and they're like, isn't she amazing? She was the star of our last movie. And
he tells her, I don't want to sweat on you when he hugs her.
Which is definitely a thing that I've said to someone before, like after a run or something. I'm like,
please don't hug me.
Just don't touch me. I'm gonna be sweaty.
So then after the talk, they're all chatting, and Kevin Smith is like, ew, why are you with that guy? He's so lame. And this is when he talks about like his gross facial hair. And they're like, oh my God, we need to get you the audition package. Like, you totally need to audition for our film. It's going to be great. But
apparently they've been like hunting her down, but her agent is like telling them that she's not taking auditions because this shitty dude is like, you can't take auditions when you're in the program, which is bullshit.
That doesn't make sense. But then fast forward, then we cut to Jason Mewes and his star who's playing himself, Michael, aka the guy who plays Derek in Life with Derek. I don't know why he's at auditions, but sure. And they're auditioning people for the movie, and I think Jason Mewes is wearing like a gray tank top.
Yep, and you can see all of his weird tattoos, of which he has myriad.
And then Life with Derek is just staring at Mia, because Stüdz are auditioning for the movie because they need a band, and they're singing that terrible, terrible song.
They picked the worst one. Why did they pick that song? Like, none of the songs are very good. Don't get me wrong. They're pretty much across the board terrible, but this is like the worst one.
But it's like the blah, 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 want to take your clothes off song, and it's so bad.
It's just like, I can't, I hate it. I hate it so much.
But while they're singing this awful song, Life with Derek is just staring at Mia because she's there to support Peter. And they're like, and he just isn't paying attention to the band. And Jason Mewes is like, what are you doing? You need to be paying attention. And then he tells Mia to leave because she's being a distraction, which is gross.
He calls her a broad.
He does call her a broad. This made me a little uncomfortable. It felt like with school dress code stuff, like you're blaming the girl for existing in the world. And she's not doing anything. Yeah. She's just sitting there. Like, smack your actor around, man.
It's ridiculous. But then we cut to Haley practicing for her audition, and she's a terrible singer. And Paige is trying to help her, but she's just really bad. And I think that's that scene.
I forgot that Paige can kind of sing.
Yeah, a little bit. But then I think Manny is with Mick, and she's like, I'm going to go audition for this. And he's like, what are you doing? like, you shouldn't do this. And he calls her on the way to the audition. And he's like, you're going to be terrible. And she's like, what? And he's like, bye.
He, like, gets all in her fucking head. This guy's a dick.
He tells her that she's going to fail. And he's like, don't come to me after you fail this audition, because I know you're going to. He's the worst. And then she tanks her audition, and she's really bad.
Like,
it hurts so bad.
it's physically painful to watch. But although her last one is really good, because she's just being like crazy throughout this entire thing. And then her last one is just like deadpan, but like a really low voice for no reason.
It was good. You know, Cassie still improvised that one. And Jason Mewes is like, I mean, we'll show it to the people, but you can tell he's really disappointed that she did very poorly. And then they walk out, and he's like, auditions are over. And Allie is like, what? I want to do audition. Which is like, okay, I guess so.
It's on brand for Allie, but also her parents would never let her do that.
Mm-mm. But I guess they'd let Sav be in the movie.
Well, we know that they have different, like, standards for what Sav and Allie can do.
True. But then... Oh my God. And then we're like outside the auditions, and Life with Derek is like flirting with Mia. And then Peter comes up and he's like, oh, hey, I was just telling your girlfriend how much I want to get with her, or something like that. And then Peter punches him in the face. And then he's like, what are you doing? I was method acting. Come on. Which is like, that's a terrible excuse.
Although that is a thing that Jason Mewes would say, and has said. He said it in the last one when they went Canadian, eh?
Well, so now I just can't tell if he is method acting or not. There's too many layers to this.
I think he's maybe just trash, but it's a valid excuse because it's definitely something that Jason Mewes said the last time he was on this show.
But then we're in LA, and like Haley just got back from her audition, and then she's like, wait, I left my Palm Pilot inside. Go get it, Paige.
Oh, wait, did we say that now Stüdz is not going to be in the movie because Peter has no fucking self-control?
Right. And they'll never get to meet Ben Affleck.
They're really into meeting Ben Affleck.
I don't know why they're so obsessed with Ben Affleck.
He wasn't even, like, important at this time.
No, he was, like, maybe kind of starting to rise back up from, like, Gigli and Jersey Girl and all those terrible movies that he was in. I think, like, right now he was like, Justin, he's just not that into you, which is like just like a safe choice for him, I guess.
It's a solid movie. I stand by He's Just Not That Into You.
I do love that movie.
Another one from our youth.
Chelsea and I used to watch that movie a lot. Also, whatever. I like Jersey Girl. Fuck you guys.
I've only seen it once, and it was a very long time ago. But then we're in LA, and Haley's like, go get my Palm, which I'm assuming is a Palm Pilot because it's 2009. Although I feel like they were still outdated at this point.
They
Paige
were.
had an iPhone.
Yeah.
Which she called by.
She did, like, shout out the iPhone. Yeah, no, I feel like it was, unless you were, like, a businessman, like, you shouldn't have had a Palm Pilot.
Yeah. So Paige goes in to get her Palm, and then the producer guy is like, come on, tell us your name. Are you auditioning or what? Now's your chance. And then Paige is like, I mean, I guess so.
And then all the sparkly music starts playing.
And then, before she walks in, the producer's complaining about not being able to find someone with the Jersey Girl Next Door vibe or something. And then we see Paige's audition, and she's really trying out that Jersey accent. I will let you two inform how good it was.
It's not what we fucking sound like.
It's mostly people's parents who originate from Queens. Who
Exactly.
sound like that in our town.
Exactly. Like, I know several people who do talk like that, but, like, they're not from New Jersey. They just migrated to New Jersey from Queens and Staten Island and Long Island.
It's not our fault.
No. But I definitely was with, like, several people yesterday who talked exactly like that.
But then we're at Emma's house, and Eggers is there, and I just am looking at the dog.
I'm always looking at the dog anytime the dog is there, because the dog is not an actor. He just, like, chills around and licks faces and, like, is not trained for this, but he's so cute.
When did Emma get a dog?
You will see. It's a crazy episode.
It's super weird. Is it with Damien?
Yes.
We forgot about it.